Welcome in, everybody. This is your morning message tarot reading for the 7th of May 2022. I am Spirit of Life Alchemy. So we have some astrology for today. This is all the astrology is from the UK. Okay, so we've got the day starting with the moon still in Cancer, where it's going to form a trine to Neptune and Jupiter and form an opposition to Pluto. And incidentally, Jupiter is still forming a sextile with Pluto, which was exact on the 3rd, but it's still ongoing as Jupiter nears its end in Pisces before moving into Aries next week. And then the moon's going to move into Leo, where it's going to form a sextile with Mercury, currently residing in Gemini. So the energies, the moon's trine to Neptune and Jupiter is going to reactivate the Piscean transits of the last few weeks, which good time. The moon in Cancer is a good time to retreat into ourselves for self-nurturing and looking after ourselves. As we do that, this can lead to dissolving of old boundaries and transformation. Then as the moon moves into Leo, we're ready to take centre stage to communicate what we've learned on that inner journey. The other transit happening today is the Sun sextile in Mars, Taurus to Pisces, and this is really going to add fire to allow us to shine brightly and take action. So nice energy, starting off very watery and sort of swimming in the emotions and things like that, nurturing ourselves, and then closing out the day in the fiery energies of the Sun, Mars and Leo. Okay, so that being said, let's do some cards and see what the cards have to say about today. So we're going to start off with some oracle cards. We're going to use Wisdom of the Oracle, collect, bow and read, and then we're going to go on and do some tarot. So what do we need to know for today? The 7th of May 2022. Messages from Spirit, please, for the collective. What help, support, advice and guidance can you give us to help us navigate today's astrological energies? So what do we need to know for today? What does the collective need to know? Okay, what messages has Spirit got for the collective today? Okay, let's see. What do we need to know? Don't know where that singing came from. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck we have all that glitters is not all that glitters. You always want to go on all that glitters is not gold, as the phrase goes. Then we have breathe, and come to the edge. Okay, what I'm getting for this is not to be taken in by the shiny things. Whatever the shiny things might be, the easy path, the fast track, the comfort zone things, whatever the shiny thing is, it could be a distraction for us today. And we're being called to instead come back to ourselves, to breathe, connecting with our body, and when we're centered and grounded, then we can start pushing outside of our comfort zones, coming to the edge. And this really speaks to me about that transition into Leo and the fiery energies, that taking centre stage, pushing yourself out with your new learnings from earlier in the day. And just being grounded and centred, because when we're grounded and centred, we can do anything. We're in balance. Okay, so let's do some cards. I've got the Mary Old deck today. I felt drawn to those this morning. So what do we need to know for today? The 7th of May 2022. Messages from Spirit, please, for the collective. Okay, what help, support, advice, guidance can Spirit give us to help guide us and navigate us through today's energies? Okay, what do we need to know? What do we need to know for today? What we've got there. Okay, messages from Spirit, please, for the collective for the 7th of May 2022. Already got some messages coming through with the cards that jumped out, which I will tell you about in a moment. But let's have a look where we find ourselves today. The Fool, start of a new journey. Okay, where we've come from. Ace of Wands, that was in our future yesterday. Okay, what's below us? 8 of Discs. What's a gifts from above? 10 of Wands. And future, where we're moving to, we've got the 3 of Cups. And then at the bottom of the deck, we've got the 2 of Discs. 3 of Swords again from yesterday. And the 2 of Cups from yesterday. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so where we find ourselves today, we have the Fool. So we're on the threshold of a new journey. Okay, and I feel that this relates to Jupiter being on the cusp between Pisces and Aquarius. We're closing out this old cycle, this last 12-year cycle, and we're on the precipice of starting the next, so let's say 10 years, we went 12-year cycle. Or did I say 12? I can't remember now anyway. It just comes pouring through. Okay, so we're on this precipice of closing out the last 12-year cycle and beginning the next 12-year cycle. So you can think back to where you were in 2010, 2011, and sort of see what cycle you've been through, and what's coming to a completion now, ready to start the new cycle. I also see this being related to this reviewing and closing out. So not only have we got Jupiter at the very end of Pisces, but it's in this extended sextile to Pluto. So we're really sort of assessing soul deep stuff, continuing, finishing that transformation off, ready to start afresh. Okay, where we've come from. So the Ace of Wands came up yesterday in the position of the future. Okay, we were moving into the Ace of Wands energy. Today, it's in the past. So there might have been some enlightenment, some creative spark of inspiration. This could be from the Sun-Uranus conjunction. Okay, we've got that spark of inspiration. That transits, or that aspect, is going into the past now, and we continue on the journey forward. Okay, we've been ignited, and that ignition is sort of starting us on the new journey of the fall. Okay, the foundations of this is the Eight of Wands. There's work to do. There's always work to do. Are we enjoying our work? How can we make our work enjoyable, fun, joy? But into the need to show up to do the work, even as we're given sort of these inspirations and things like that, then when we see the pathway in front of us opening up, that's the time to get to work. I was just sort of reading a post earlier today from a friend of mine who's a coach and a mentor and things, and she was on about sort of, you know, when we're doing something new, then the journey is often 70% internal work, 30% external work. But as we go through and do the internal work, as we get breakthroughs, then it gives us the direction to do the external work in, so that we're not wasting our time, we're working smarter, not harder. And I thought that is really true. And if more of us knew that and understood that, then, you know, would be life would be a lot easier. Rather than, I think a lot of people just spend their time outwardly, externally focused, trying to push their way through. But you often don't know what's the right way to go until you've done the internal work. So with yesterday's breakthrough and with today's energies, the transformation and things like that, the moon moving into Leo, now it's time to put the work in, the externally physical work. What's the messages from above, from Spirit? We've got the 10 of Wands. Time to let go of the burdens, the trying to do everything. Pick the one thing and put the other 9 wands down. We don't need to be doing all the wands and taking on everything for everybody else. We just need to find our niche, our focus, which probably has come through this, and then we can start moving forward and doing the work. Where the future is, we've got the 3 of Cups. Now often in this card we've got three young women dancing and glasses raised in celebration. Can be enjoyment with friends or sharing and things like that. In this card, this always says to me that we're just like the waterfalls here. We all come from the same source. We take our individual journeys, and then sort of when the waterfalls join in the pool at the bottom, we come back together. Yes, back finding our own life journey, and also sort of with the waterfalls, doing it the road of least resistance as well, just going with the flow. May split us in separate directions to come back again, but to just make life easier. Drop all the resistance and the burdens, and just go with the flow. And the cards from the bottom of the deck, we had the 2 of Discs, an option or a choice. Again, this card, what I was saying before about 70% internal work, 30% external work. In this 2 of Wands, one of the eyes is looking inwards and one of the eyes is looking outwards. So yeah, again, do the inner work, do the outer work. And as we do that, these 2 cards came out as the general energy yesterday, with 3 of Swords and the 2 of Cups. Doing the work, looking inwards, looking outwards, we overcome and we heal the heartbreak, whatever that wound is for you from the past. and we find love. And that could be, as I said yesterday, it could be internal, the divine feminine, divine masculine sides, energetic sides of ourselves coming together, the subconscious and conscious minds. It could be connection with somebody out in the real world, 3D. But as we heal those wounds, what we do is we open up to love. The two cards that jumped out when they jumped out and I saw them, I just thought, that's very Piscean and Neptunian, just the colours and everything. And when sort of you look at the cards, we've got the Hanged Man, which in the tarot does represent Neptune. Just all the blues and everything, the hanging upside down, seeing things from a different perspective, turning things on their head, sacrificing a lesser thing for the greater benefits. And again, going back to the internal looking eye, I'm also reminded of gods such as Odin, hung on the tree, sacrificed a sight in one eye so that he could have inner vision. I'm not asking anybody to poke their eyes out or anything like that. Please don't do that. But that ability to look inwards and look outwards, and gain knowledge from sort of the inner world as well as the outer world. And then sort of with the Hermit, again, the blue energies, the blue colours, very Piscean. We've got waves and water in the background. It's very flowing in this card. It always makes me think of the Hermit swimming in the conscious and subconscious oceans, okay, of the Piscean oceans, of the collective unconscious, the collective consciousness, being connected inwards but also connected to everything, the 5D world, to shine that light within and find the inner connection, the inner wisdom within us, so that then we can take it out into the world. So yes, that going inwards, swimming, floating, flowing in the Neptunian energies to find what we need to take the next step, and then drop in everything else so that we can be focused on the one thing, that we can put the work in, that we can do it, that we can move on and flow with the rhythms of nature and the world. Moving forward effortlessly. Okay, and as we do this, it could bring us to the edge, stepping out of our comfort zone. Things that with the Pluto and Jupiter things going on, that is really about sort of, you know, stepping outside of the comfort zone, looking at the deeper soul level transformations, not being distracted by all the glittery shiny things, but being prepared to, you know, look at things from a different perspective, go inwards, find the inner treasure, not the external treasure, okay, which will really help to free us up and help us to move forward. Okay, that's today's reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then, or if it resonated with you, then please do like, share and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated, and I am continuing to try and grow the channel. So yeah, all likes, shares and subscribes gratefully received. If you'd like notifications when I'm releasing readings, click on the wiggly bell. If you'd like a personal reading from me, then please do contact me at the email address below this video. Have a wonderful day, and until next time, thank you for watching.